Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during the 16-game season era. Yeah, Mr. Pick Six, welcome back. Thursday Night Vibes. Say what needs to be said. Let's have a good time tonight. Let's bring that energy in. We have a few things to discuss. Let me bring on my co-host, 2-3 Drees. We in the building tonight. How you doing, baby?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm definitely feeling good. I can't wait to get the conversation started for tonight. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. They say they want to hear these black folks turn up tonight, man. Shout out to Continuous in the chat, man, in the chat. So, yeah, man, we're going to turn up tonight. We have a few things to talk about. You know, to say what needs to be said, perspective has to say what needs to be said and make sure y'all understand loud and clear what is going on out here in the football world. We're going to talk about Cam Ward and his future, what I think, what I see about the great young quarterback. We're going to talk about, of course, the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders, and this whole fiasco they have going on. And also, we will talk about Stefon Diggs and what he will bring to Drake May, whether or not that is a good thing or not, man. So y'all tune into the chat, man. Y'all talk to us because we talk back. And y'all know y'all drop them questions and let us know what y'all want to hear because we like to hear from y'all, man. How you doing, Drees, man? How you doing? How you feeling, baby?
Man, I'm feeling good. We back, talk about football again. Some things going down in Cleveland. We're going to talk about that. We're going to discuss that. But we see young Cam Ward. We're going to discuss that too, man.
Yes, sir.
This weekend is going to be a good weekend. You're going to hop back on. Some more football being played. I can't wait to see, man. Can't wait to see.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Tomorrow and Saturday, we have football 2 days in a row. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to react. I can't wait to break these games down and talk to y'all about it. And that's why we're going to talk about Cam Ward tonight. The first thing we talk about in the first topic of discussion is Cam Ward, man, because I'm so excited to see Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans play tomorrow. Yes, man, I'm excited to see Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans take the field. I think Cam Ward would be special at this next level. I really do. I can see Cam Ward. I can see Cam Ward winning the Super Bowl within the next 2 to 3 seasons.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Wait. Say that again.
Super Bowl in the next 3 to 4 years. Yes.
Super Bowl. You didn't even say make the playoffs. You said straight to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl champion.
Now, not what you see now, not with everything. Of course, with the little help in the draft and free agency and things like that. Of course, not with the team he has right now, of course. But the next 3 or 4 seasons, I can see Cam Ward winning the Super Bowl, man. He's like that. Don't get it twisted. Just because he's outspoken, he's flashy, and he doesn't make a lot of noise. Don't underestimate his abilities, man. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a bold prediction, though. We talking about Super Bowl.
The only thing is everybody from college is entering the NFL. It's the same level. It's the same people. You know, the older NFL guys are going to continue to move out of the NFL, and the young NFL players are going to come in. Man, but what Cam did for the Hurricanes proves he's a winner and has the capabilities of carrying his football team on his back and making the plays to win the game. The proof is in the pudding. Cam will be the star of this new generation of good or great quarterbacks. If, of course, C.J. Stroud don't get his shit together. C.J. Stroud is supposed to be the first generation, the first person to start this new wave, but he needs to get his shit together. You know what I mean? And people want to play down what Cam Ward did at Miami with narratives like the team wasn't good and he had a good offensive line. Like he had a good team and he had a good offensive line. And I disagree. I disagree that Cam Ward had a good team, good offensive line, good athletes. All of these narratives that people said, I think Cam Ward had to carry that team on his back. You know,
it was all him.
I think it was totally opposite. Yes. Cam didn't play with a bunch of good athletes, or his team wasn't as talented as people may perceive. Without Cam, last season would have been super ugly. And I stand on that. I'm going to continue to stand on that.
Ooh.
But this season right now, they got this they got Carson Beck, a Georgia transfer, and he's the quarterback now. He has 4 years of experience. This will be his fifth year senior. So let's see if he could do the same thing that Cam did, or at least duplicate his season, or do something better than what Cam did. So we'll see. And that will help tell the story right there. But in the next 3 to 4 seasons, I see Cam Ward winning a Super Bowl.
Let me write this down. Let me write this down so we can come back to this.
Make sure the chat understands. Make sure y'all we come back to visit this. Yes, sir. Cam Ward. Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all write this down, man. Make sure y'all write this down.
Titans. Of course, they're gonna need help, and they're gonna start to build around him, of course, for sure. But you have to break it down and not just take it for what the words are being said. Because the first thing I look at is the division Cam Ward is in. And who can stop him in their division? Because the division says a lot about a team making it to the Super Bowl. You have an easy division, that means you can get a first round bye. And all you need to do is win 2 games after that to make it to the Super Bowl. In Cam's division, you got the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Texans. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, we don't need to debate about how great any of these teams are. Do we? If we do, let's go at it.
It's wide open.
Chat. If we do, we need just go at it. Do we need to debate about how great any of these teams are? So far, the Titans and Cam Ward. Yeah, so for Titans and Cam Ward in this division, it's easy to find a way to dominate because of who the teams are. The Texans finished first in this division with a 10-7 record, and the rest of the teams finished the season with losing records, including the Titans. And Cam played 2 series in his first preseason game, and I can definitely see how he's going to be effective, and he's going to carry the Tennessee Titans on his back the same way he did the Miami Dolphins. In 2 series, I can see that. I don't know if y'all looking at the stats or whatever. I'm looking at the abilities and athletic abilities and things like that. But I expect the Tennessee Titans to play Cam Ward a little more tomorrow and open him up a little so he could get going. And you're going to continue to see him grow and be more productive. Now, right now, Cam Ward's biggest threat to a defense is Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley needs to step it up a little bit. He needs to step his game up. So once the Titans begin to build their offense around Cam's abilities and get him a big threat, a big-time threat on offense, Titans will be a problem. Get him a big-time threat. He's going to be a problem.
Another thing with Cam Ward started making me a fan of him, how hard he works and how dedicated he is. So he shows up to the facility every day at 5 a.m. And the reason behind that is he said, I see my dad wake up every day 4 a.m. to go to work. Why can't I? I'm out here playing the game and making millions. So why can't I would go up here and put in that same type of work? So he's not out here having fun and living like he's dedicated. He's want to go watch film for a few hours before practice even starts, and then he goes out there throwing extra passes. He's spending extra time. They say the first one in the building, the last one out, and that's a big deal. You play with a player like that, and you know how big of a difference that is.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset, and it's a will. You have to have that will to win, you know? And in my draft valuation for Shedeur versus Cam, I gave Cam the nod because I thought Shedeur had more of a talented team or a talented team compared to Cam, right? And of course, that was a debate. That was a big debate. But of course, the Hurricane fans disagree with me. Like I said, it was a debate. But I think I mainly was talking about the skill position, right? Did the Miami Hurricanes have better skilled players than the Colorado Buffaloes? Y'all let me know in the chat, because I think not. I think Colorado Buffaloes had faster and more athletic skill position players. That's my opinion. So Shedeur had, better talent.
Yeah, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Right. Yeah, But y'all be the judge. Y'all let me know who had more of a talented team. Colorado Buffaloes or the Miami Hurricanes. Now, remember we said it here first. Remember I said it here first. Dries didn't say it.
Yeah, I ain't say it.
I said it here first. Cam Ward will be a Super Bowl champ by the next 3 or 4 years. Mark my word, watch.
Champ.
I don't see the talent picking up in the NFL right now as far as, the dogs and the athletes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's freak of nature athletes type of athletes coming through the NFL. But what is being done in the NFL, it's kind of going backwards, especially at the quarterback position. But just sit back and watch Cam work and listen to what I'm telling you. Do y'all understand who his head coach is? Man. His head coach is Brian Callahan. Does anybody know about Brian Callahan and who he is?
Listen, man, that's just a quarterback, man. He can't do it by himself. He need a whole team around. He need a good defense to make the stop. He need a good wide receiver. You just said Kyle really ain't living up to it, so we gotta see. That's a bold prediction. Tom 3 or 4 years.
A team around him, right? And did he have a team around him? Yes. Okay, that's what we all say, right? He had a team around him. It's the same type of team, but he has to carry this team on his back the same way Tom Brady did. Now, his head coach is Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan was the offensive coordinator for the Bengals with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So he understands how to get the job done. Mm-hmm. Y'all make sure you understand that. Brian Callahan led the Bengals and Joe Burrow to the Super Bowl. And you know that offense over there, they might not have a good defense, but that offense has always been firing on all cylinders over there with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrows. So expectations are already there. He's going to do those same things when he gets going with the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward. Only thing they are missing
What are they missing?
is that big-time receiver. That's the only thing Cam Ward is missing right now. A big-time receiver, and, you know, they're a little old at all the skill positions. They have Tyler Lockett as the other receiver, Tony Pollard at running back. Get a little younger, get some faster, some dogs in there, some young dogs, and watch Cam Ward work. Next 3 to 4 seasons, Cam Ward will be a Super Bowl champion. I said it here first. Nobody can see how I see things. Now, like I said, don't just think I'm talking about from what we see right now. He's going to need a little help in the draft, and he's going to need a little help in free agency. Things are going to this NFL. This world is about timing, man. Everything is about time. So we're going to watch Cam Ward work tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the game and see how we break it down, you know? Yes, but Shedeur Sanders, man. Oh, man, Shedeur Sanders. Every day, every other day, every week, there is something just going crazy with Shedeur Sanders. Why is that? You know? Why is that? And to me, and I think I put the word out there to everybody else as well. The Browns are doing everything in their power to stop Shedeur Sanders. But you know what? Some people just can't be stopped. And I was one of those people. Some people just have that drive and that will that God won't let be stopped. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But listen, when I tell you, my guy Kevin Stefanski is under lots of stress trying to handle his quarterback competition. It has him all over the place. When I tell y'all it has him all over the place, we are about to get into that. Reports we all heard started blasting Shedeur has an oblique injury and won't be able to play Saturday. And a sore arm the week before that. These mysterious injuries seem to occur only when Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel are back, ready to practice or trying to see if they can practice. Now, I don't know if you know about an oblique injury, Dries, but I've had a stomach strain before. That's all it is a stomach strain. Now, you can, of course, it's a muscle injury. A strain is in the muscle. You can rip your muscle, and you can definitely do some damage. But don't think an oblique injury is supposed to hold a professional athlete back from competing in the NFL. The NFL has the best of the best doctors, medicine, so on and so forth. They can make that pain disappear for 48 hours. Easy. So what is going on in Cleveland? What is going on? Man. Why is this happening like this, man?
Why you said it. Like Dylan Gabriel. It was Dylan Gabriel this week, man. It was his time to come back because, listen, Shedeur Sanders, he practiced half the practice, and when it's time for team, that's when the oblique injury came. He did all the throwing drills perfectly fine, and he got dressed. He ain't leave the sideline. He ain't go see no trainers.
And there might be a little truth to the oblique injury, and I have some film, some footage of that. But at the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders doesn't have much room for error in this competition, if it's competition. Because it doesn't seem like it's competition. It seems like it's a biased competition. You know, if Shedeur catch a cold, they will make him sit out.
No, just sneeze. Just sneeze.
If he sneezes, they'll make him sit out.
He has the flu.
And get Gabriel and Pickett better. You know, if you have a headache, Gabriel and Pickett, you're in. Shedeur needs the rest.
Yeah, man.
Now, to my knowledge, Shedeur is seemingly going to be the starter this week against the Eagles in the second preseason game after going crazy in the first week. Or is he going to be the starter? From what I'm hearing and what I've heard, he's supposed to be the starter. Right?
No,
this is what I heard. Brown's coach says Shedeur Sanders will start only if Dillon Gabriel can't play. That was the message. That was the message. I said it before. How is it possible for Kevin Stefanski to properly evaluate 4 quarterbacks who potentially can be the starter in only 3 preseason games? And my predictions are starting to come to light as the season gets closer. It looks like the Browns wants to start Dillon Gabriel at quarterback against the Eagles in his debut. Like we just said, if Dillon Gabriel can't go, then Shedeur Sanders is expected to start. But he has an oblique injury. It's all over the place. And for some reason, the plan isn't planning out for the Browns. Either Dillon Gabriel isn't convincing enough to the coaches to be thrown out in the fire, or those trainers in Cleveland don't know what the heck they are doing, because a hamstring injury, a strain for a quarterback, especially someone just coming out of college, does not take this long to get back to work, to get that thing back working, you know?
Yeah.
But why does Dillon Gabriel need to be supposedly nursing the injury when Shedeur starts, and when Gabriel is expected to start, Shedeur is all of a sudden nursing the injury? Why does this need to transpire like this? Why? What is going on with this coach, man? This coach is all
people
over
need to
the
notice
place.
what's going on, man. People need to notice what's going on.
People are starting to notice it, man. But you know, it's so funny because in football, we all are going to get injured. Everyone is going to get injured at some point at some time. On the practice field, in the game, or something. Everyone is going to get injured. But some of these injuries don't cost you to have to sit out of practice or miss a game. That's up to coaches and trainers to say he needs to miss a game. You see? And that's probably what's going on. But at first, I can't lie, I thought it was straight BS, but I did see some footage that Shedeur was looking a little uncomfortable. I mean, a very small bit of uncomfortableness, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A very small bit.
But it's crazy. They never healthy at the same time.
Yeah, man. A very small bit of uncomfortableness, right? But it doesn't matter, because whether or not he was injured, I think the Browns' intentions would have been the same and try to hold Shedeur out of the game because Dillon Gabriel is back.
And it was actually what's called first practice back too.
Right.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, you know, all of them. It's all over the place. We don't know what's real and what's not real, you know? We just going through the moment. You know, I don't believe what I want to say. Does this set Shedeur back? Him being held back or not being able to play or held out of practice, whatever they're trying to do to Shedeur at this point. Is this a setback for Shedeur? Is this a setback for Shedeur, you think? Does this hold him back? Does it set him back? If he doesn't play Saturday, if he doesn't he didn't practice or whatever they are doing to him. Is this a setback for Shedeur?
Actually, I think it's hurting the Browns more than it's hurting Shedeur. Like I think, like they are big believers of God and all that stuff. I think it's all a big plan, and I feel like he gonna land somewhere that's gonna love him and respect him because he not just making an effect on the field, he makes an effect off the field. Like we talked about last week with jersey sales, with ticket sales and all stuff. And GMs is noticing that. Like last week, Panthers, they sold 72,000 tickets. All last season, they close to 72,000 ticket sales.
But hold on. Is it a setback?
Is it a setback?
Is this a setback?
I don't feel like it. I feel like people like notice. Like it might not be the Browns. The Browns
in the competition.
No, I don't think it's gonna hurt him.
Why you don't think it's gonna hurt him?
Because every time he got his opportunity, he took advantage of it. If you get your opportunity, you take advantage
what if
of
they
it.
Don't give him no more opportunities.
We saw what we could do. It's out there on the film.
Saw what he could do, yeah.
It's on the film. We saw like when he got his opportunity to get out there and do what he's supposed to do, he did it. Now, if he was out there and he threw like 2 interceptions and no touchdowns, it was like he didn't get no more chances. It's like, damn, he didn't get no more chances. But when he did get that chance, it was like he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Like you can't take that away from what he already done. So getting less reps now, I mean, it's not his fault. So you feel like it hurt him though?
No, I don't think it hurt him. I don't believe it hurt him. I think Kevin Stefanski's mind is already made up about who will be the starting quarterback week 1 already. Shedeur just will continue to prove that he should be the starting quarterback. That's what I believe. So I don't think it's hurting him. It's everything negative the Browns and Kevin Stefanski try to do, it only continues to grow his legend. That's what I believe. Because when he comes out of this mess and overcomes all these obstacles, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. But check it out. So this is what is going on that I want y'all to see. Let me get y'all in. So this is talking about Shedeur Sanders' future, right? This week playing against the Eagles. So it starts off, it says, Sanders turned many heads around the NFL when he had a very good showing in NFL preseason debut against the Panthers. In just over 2 quarters of action, the former Colorado star hit on 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and posted a 106.8 rating. It gave the supporters ammunition in their belief that he needs more opportunities, right? And it says, well, he could get a lot of that in their second preseason game this Saturday against the Eagles on Wednesday. On Wednesday, head coach Kevin Stefanski told reporters that if fellow quarterbacks Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett can't bounce back from recent injuries and take this field this week, Sanders will again get the start in their preseason game. Next preseason game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's check out what Kevin Stefanski thought process was or is about his quarterback competition heading into this week. Because he's all over the place. So let's check it out.
I would definitely be there for the preseason games. See what's going on.
So Kevin Stefanski was asked about the quarterback competition and who will be the starting quarterback heading into the week for the preseason game. And these questions are a couple of questions, I think, starting from the beginning of the week. We're at the end of the week, so we're going to go through how he answered all of these questions. He said, when he was asked, he said, I'm not there yet on the game itself. By Wednesday, Thursday, I'll have a better feel for the game and how we're going to handle that. And I'll update you guys. But not there yet, Stefanski said. Fast forward to Wednesday morning, and Stefanski revealed his plan is to start rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel this weekend. He missed the preseason opener due to hamstring tightness. The plan was always to give both of those guys start in the preseason. So we'll see how it shakes out, Stefanski told reporters. The plan was to always give both of those guys start in the preseason. So we'll see how it goes. Stefanski, Kevin Stefanski, he don't know what to do. But my instincts tell me, Shedeur Sanders will be named the backup quarterback once the final roster is announced. Yes, I think Shedeur Sanders will win the backup quarterback spot. Right. And that's a start. And when he's named the backup, it will only be a matter of time before Joe Flacco runs out of stamina in these long, grueling games, or his old habits start to kick in. And Kevin Stefanski says he's seen enough of Joe Flacco and says, my backup, Shedeur Sanders, it's time for you to come in. So everything is going to fall into place. If I'm calling this right, like I said, I expect Shedeur Sanders to be named the official backup quarterback. And that's a big step. Because Shedeur is a 5th round pick is the only reason why he's being held back and why he's not going to be named the starter from the beginning of the season, you know?
One thing you said last week was about Myles Garrett. He's like, we got to see what Myles Garrett think. Will Myles Garrett go up to the office and say we need Shedeur? And we see last week on the sideline, he told him, he's like, we're going to need you, young fella, and gave him a pat on the back. Yeah. He told him, he said, we're going to need you. So I feel like in Myles Garrett's mind, he feel like they're going to need him to make a run, to make it to the playoffs, to be competitive. So that's a huge statement from Myles Garrett, man. Might get him on the field faster.
That's what Shedeur has, man. He has that aura. He has that characteristic trait to get people to believe, and you know, he works hard and make people believe. That's what you want in your quarterback. If you have a quarterback out there who is the leader of the team and no one believes or think they can get the job done, man, that's a big slap in the face to all the teammates out there. Like I said, I had issues with my quarterbacks because I felt like, you know, they wasn't putting it on the line, or at least giving the proper preparation to look like they want to win and things like that. And that didn't sit too well with me. So I had to confront the situation, you know. That's just me, you know.
And you see a lot of people, like, they talk about the interviews where he was arrogant and all that stuff. All I see is him going around asking people questions. I mean, he went to ask Myles Garrett questions. I see him go to ask Jalen Hurts questions. He's going around asking people because he's trying to learn. He's not that person that everybody think he is, that think he knows it all. I see him going around asking and trying to learn and trying to be a professional as he's supposed to be.
That's who he is. They want him to be arrogant. They want him to be this nuisance to society or whatever they want to create him to be. He will never be that. Coach Prime already raised him to be what it was, unflappable type of guy, man, a great kid and things like that. So, I mean, they keep barking up the wrong tree. This all has to do with his dad, Coach Prime. It has nothing to do with the kid himself. Everybody secretly loves the kid. They just want to hate on him because he's being who he's embracing himself. He's you know, he's a young man with lots of money and lots of influence and things, and he doesn't mind showing it. He films his life just like his dad, and that bothers a lot of people because a lot of people are insecure with themselves and couldn't walk around with a camera. You know, they would be embarrassed to walk around with a camera. They don't feel they look up to par to have a camera on them on a daily basis. So instead, you know, that's like the trolls on Twitter and things like that with the avatars and no pictures on their profile. You can't find one original picture of this person to see who they are. These are the people that hate on Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, the people that are insecure with themselves. You got to understand, that's how it goes. The people in the backgrounds hate to see the people out front doing great because they're in their house, they're in their place, wherever they're at, they're miserable. They're not living how they want to live and how they probably seen their life as a kid and things like that. So these are just miserable people trying to bring and for the reporters, you know, the beat writers for teams and things like that. These are men that never played sports, or they played sports, but they was absolutely horrible. They got abused and tortured on the field by other kids. You know, they were never that type of athlete. They never made it to that stardom. They never achieved anything in these sports. So all they know how to do is to attack and bring down. And this is their way into the sports world. You see what I'm saying? They can use a pen and paper. They can use a mic to enter into this sports world that they can't be a part of and play in. So these type of things really bothers these humans out here, these despicable humans that want to just tear, people down. Man.
And speaking of reporters, it was one of the, a long time Cleveland reporter. I don't have his name off the top of head, but Tony he was Brosky? Like, was it? He said that it was the first time. It was a Browns away game. He's like, it was the first time I ever felt like a home game at a Browns away game ever in my life reporting for the Browns. Because that's how many Browns fans came out there to see Shedeur play, and that's the effect that he has on the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he was like, I never felt that before ever as a Browns reporter, going to all the games around the country.
It doesn't matter what game, wherever Shedeur shows up at, they're going to be yearning and dying to speak and talk to Shedeur and get an autograph, a picture, or whatever, whoever it is, because his name is ringing. He is very popular. The legend is growing. But I don't think we understand the competition who Shedeur Sanders is fighting against. Do you? Does anybody realize Dillon Gabriel is the smallest player on the field when he's at quarterback? Like we talked about Dillon Gabriel being 5'11" and 5'10". That may be stretching it. A smaller quarterback has to be special, man. There has to be a special athlete being small as Dillon Gabriel, at quarterback. If they want to achieve success in the NFL, you got to be special. When Dillon is a quarterback, watch the play selections. When Dillon is at quarterback, whenever he gets to play, I want y'all to watch the play selections. Watch what they are and how he puts the Browns offense in a box because of what his capabilities are. There's a limit on his capabilities. Watch the play selections. Watch. I'm telling y'all. I expect the Browns, if Dillon Gabriel played this week, the Browns will have to use Dillon Gabriel in move the pocket scenarios, move the pocket type passes, like rolling out, play action bootleg concepts. That is, I ain't gonna say the only way Dillon Gabriel can be successful, but that is what needs to be done for Dillon Gabriel to be successful. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that is the only way for him to be successful, but that is what need to be done for him to be successful. And it will be interesting to see this play out for Dillon Gabriel. How he can handle the challenge against the Eagles if he gets to play against the Eagles, the Super Bowl champs. He needs to play. And I don't understand what is going on. He has to play sooner or later. You cannot protect and hide these athletes and these general managers and coaches who decided to make these third-round picks, and you have better athletes in the fifth round. That's just the way it goes, And for me, I just hate to see the politics interfering with competition. I'm a competition guy. I love straight-up, head-to-head competition. Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel should be able to have a fair competition and let the best man win. See who the best man for the job is. That's fair. Everyone can accept that. I can accept it. You can accept it. Everyone can accept it if the best man wins the job, right? It may be possible. It may be possible that how everyone is saying, and I'm hearing reports left and right that the Browns purposely want to sabotage the season so they can get an Archie Manning or one of the top quarterbacks in the next year's draft. Like,
they already got 6. They want more.
Yeah, it definitely. If Dillon Gabriel starts week 1, that's my only guess. That's the only thing I could guess. The Browns are purposely trying to sabotage the season because they want to get the number 1 pick in next year's draft. If Dillon Gabriel starts, that is 100% my guess. 100%. Anybody disagree with me? If Dillon Gabriel starts, they are trying to sabotage the season.
Man, you know better than me because I don't know what the Browns doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. They just out there flipping a coin. Let's see who will play this week.
Exactly. Because we all know and we can see that charisma, that leadership, that dog that Shedeur Sanders have, if they start Shedeur Sanders week 1, they won't have the opportunity for the number 1 pick in the 2026 NFL draft. You know what I mean? But it sounds like all roads lead to Joe Flacco being the starter week 1. That's what's going to happen. And competition will continue for second string, the third string quarterback, and the backup quarterback. But we all know Joe Flacco is nothing but a temporary fix for I don't know. This is a temporary fix. I don't know what else they're trying to do, because they have the future right there, and they could bring the future in, you know.
And his son not impressed.
Yeah,
he sucks. I don't know if you saw that.
What's that?
When his son was like, he's like, you ever watch your dad highlights? He was like, no, I'm not impressed. He was like, but your dad's a Super Bowl champion. He's like, no, he sucks.
How old is his son?
His son is probably like 12 or 13 or something like that.
No, I missed that, man. Your kids, man, are your toughest critic, and especially when we get older, they really start to get on us tough, man. But you know, the son is a little hard on him. He probably don't understand his dad is a Super Bowl champ. Give him a little slack, son. Give him a little slack, you know. But I don't think, man, as I told y'all, I don't think we understand how small Dillon Gabriel is. I don't think we understand the amount of influence and support Shedeur Sanders has as just a rookie. Over 2.2 million people tuned in to see Cleveland Browns compete against the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers. We ain't talking about against the Eagles. We're not talking about against the Green Bay Packers. We're not talking about any of these teams with a lot of history and tradition and things like that. We are talking about 2.2 million people tuned in to see the Cleveland Browns in their first preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. In a preseason game against the worst organization in the NFL.
And they sold more tickets. They sold more tickets that day than they did all last year. And real games.
Over 2.2 million views, you know? Just think about that, man. Just think about that. That's 300,000 more views than a usual preseason game. You know? A usual preseason game garners about 1.8, 1.89, 1.9 million views for that game. And Shedeur, being a 5th round selection, starting his first preseason game is breaking records. That's crazy. Now, what does that do for an organization in itself?
That's what I'm saying. They gotta recognize
for the decision makers. If you're a decision maker and you understand playing this one quarterback breaks, records for viewership and creates
ticket sales.
Ticket sales and revenue increases and things like that, man, the head ninjas in charge, they start scratching their head and questioning the head coach and start rooting for that guy that's gonna bring in the money. So if he goes over there and tap the head coach on the shoulder, need Shedeur to play, hey, make it happen. Make it happen, you know what I mean? But do we remember when Tim Tebow was in the NFL and the viewership for his games, they broke records? It's Tim Tebow, the same situation. Then he came into the NFL, he made it to the playoffs. The viewership for his game broke records. Shedeur will have the same effect. And at the same time, is a much, much, much better quarterback than Tim Tebow was. Yes, Tim Tebow was bigger and stronger, and yes, he could run people over, maybe even be a better athlete running the ball. But Shedeur Sanders is a much better quarterback than Tim Tebow. You go argue with your mom about that. You know what I mean? I think Kevin Stefanski, man, was forced to tell reporters that Dillon Gabriel or Kenny Pickett can't go this week. I think he was forced to do it because,
at the same time. You never see him at the same time. Either one or the other.
Yeah, because he wasn't sure if Shedeur will be able to go. And he's crazy. He's all over the place. So he doesn't know when he's going to play Dillon Gabriel exactly, because when Dillon Gabriel steps on that field as a starter, everybody's going to be looking for Shedeur Sanders. Like, we see Dillon Gabriel out there, but where is Shedeur? And that's when those chants are going to start, man. You know,
definitely.
You know,
everybody in the crowd with their number 12 jerseys on.
Yeah, man. Kevin Stefanski, like, man, I have to stop this momentum some way. He's like, I can't let Shedeur Sanders have 2 straight games of shining straight like that on Dylan Gabriel, and Dylan Gabriel isn't ready to compete, or at least give him something positive to talk about. He's like, I can't let it happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't let that happen, man.
Do you think it's not him? You think it's the GM? Like, because the GM, that's his pick, right?
And man, they all in this thing together, man. You can't say exactly who the pick is, the head coach, the general manager. They all work together, but they all in it together. I really believe the owner is the reason they had to select Shedeur Sanders, and they need the owner to step up. The owner or Myles Garrett. And how about that, man? Myles Garrett hitting 100 miles per hour on the dash, man, and getting the ticket just before that, Shedeur Sanders getting ripped alive for getting.
They said that was his eighth one.
Yes. Professional athletes and fast, expensive cars will always be a common thing amongst athletes, man.
But that showed the Shedeur effect, because you heard Shedeur did it once, and you heard it was a big time news. He did it 8 times. This is the first time hearing it.
You know? Exactly. It's not even big time news because Shedeur said, but the haters, the ones who I was talking about, the non-athletes, the ones that have to enter into the sports world with a pen and a paper or a microphone, they wanted to scrutinize Shedeur Sanders and make him seem like he was the worst of the worst, because, yes, he was going over 100 miles an hour. It was absolutely wrong. But they act like it hasn't been done for the last 30, 40 years for professional athletes. These athletes are driving fast left and right. They have money to spend. They have money to blow. So these fast luxury cars will always be a thing, you know? It will always be a thing. But, man, like you say, I don't know if this is 8th, 9th, 10th, or whatever ticket this is for Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett was, I think it was a couple years ago, maybe last year, he was just in a crazy accident where he was speeding and he rolled over and had a shoulder injury. And thank God he made it out of that one safely. And they talked about something came in to the road or whatever, made him swerve or whatever. But, you know, that was hopefully them taking up for Myles Garrett. But shout out to Shedeur, man. He's going to continue to work. He's going to continue to be great. I know they're saying Shedeur Sanders is out Saturday, but is it official? Y'all let me know in the chat. Is he officially out? Because I don't think he's officially out.
Not officially
it's still
out.
Up in the air, and I don't know.
I know they had
is Dylan Gabriel officially out, or what's the deal? What's the update?
I know he did teams today. They only practiced for like 40 minutes a day too. They had a short practice. It wasn't even long.
Right. I know they were saying they all day to day. Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders was all day to day. But I have a clip of Shedeur Sanders, right? And we're gonna, like I said, I want to see and evaluate, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Let me start this over. Does Shedeur Sanders look like he is unable to perform, or is it just something's bothering him? Now, that's the difference. Are you unable to perform, or something looks like it's just bothering you? Point at the side. You point at the side. I mean, he definitely looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No football player in the NFL at this moment, after 2-3 weeks, one preseason game, is 100% healthy. Everyone is dealing with nagging injuries. Everyone is about 90%, 95% healthy. That's how you play the sport of football. Yes, he looks like something is bothering. I agree. Something is bothering. I don't know when that footage. It could have been the day before, today, the day. It could have been any time. But my point is, that doesn't look like something that can hold him back and stop him from playing in the game against the Eagles. Again, unless I hear from Shedeur that he is banged up and he is unable to go, it is just hard for me to believe. Now, the medicine and the type of I don't want to use the wrong words, and you know what I mean, but the type of medicine and pain relievers they have, there you go, pain relievers they have to give us out there is the best of the best. And let me tell you, that little strain or what he looks like is bothering him, you get you a little shot and you feeling great again. And that thing is going to last for a good 48 hours. I've been there and done that. So for them to say an oblique injury is holding Shedeur Sanders back is just terrible, man. It just sounds terrible. And you seen when they was talking about Shedeur Sanders went up to Jalen Hurts to go ask for some, try to jog his mind or learn something from him.
Yeah, so like a lot of times at training camp, because I went to a few training camps, Jalen Hurts, he stayed away from everybody else. He always out in the corner. So Shedeur Shedeur went to go find Jalen Hurts out in the corner. He went out there to go talk to him. He talked to him for about 20, 25 minutes, and then they hop on the golf cart and headed back in. But Jalen, he went over there to ask Jalen Hurts a few little things about, handling the things, that comes with a quarterback, because Jalen Hurts handles a lot of that stuff. So, but go back to the injury. Shedeur, he did the whole practice except for teams. And Shedeur knows what's going on with teams. Shedeur knows what's going on with the whole Brown situation. Shedeur would never voluntarily say, like, I'm not about to go when it's his time to go against the Eagles. Like, when it was time for him to go against the Eagles,
makes no sense.
He did the whole practice. He did the whole practice with the Browns. But once it was time to join the practice and to go against the teams, it wouldn't be Shedeur's decision to be like, no, I'm too hurt to go. It wasn't his decision. It wasn't his.
My thing was, I know Shedeur went up looking for someone to talk to because what he was going through and not understanding what is going on. He doesn't have one to make him understand the situation he is in, because people don't really go through things like this. So he's being pulled out of practice right when they're about to start scrimmaging and things, like he's trying to compete for a job, and it's bothering his mental. So he's like, Jalen Hurts, someone that can relate to me. Let me go talk to him and see if he can give me some words of inspiration, some motivation, something to make me understand what I'm going through. But I don't know if Jalen Hurts is that type of guy, whatever, to help him out. But I'm sure that's what Shedeur Sanders is looking for, man. And it just seems so unfortunate and sad that he's dealing with these no backbone, having no leadership,
another
type of guys, man.
Another thing, today he came out fully dressed and didn't get no reps. So, like, why would you get dressed if you know you're injured and not gonna get no reps? So I think he came out today expecting to get reps.
Exactly.
But didn't get none at all.
Because he has an oblique injury that they are turning into a big situation, and it's not really a big deal. Because, like I said, I've seen it in the NFL. You can be dealing with contract situations. You can be having incentives in your contract. You can be competing for a job, looking better than a guy that's a first rounder and you only a third or fourth rounder. And guess what? To stop the distraction, because it's a biased competition, we're not even allowing you to get the proper chance or the fair chance to be able to start. We have to sit you down because of an injury that's not really an injury, because we have the control, and that's what we can do. So our trainers are going to say you can't practice, you're unable to go, you need to sit out for 2-3 weeks. And then the coach is going to relay that same message. And then if it needs to go further than that, the trainer is going to verify everything that is said, so it's documented. And that's how they beat you in this game. I seen Bill Belichick do this, man, so long, and so many different people for the New England Patriots, man. We see players coming out to the field without a number on their jersey. They'll come out there with a plain Patriots jersey with a number 0, or just probably a 0 or a blank jersey, and won't have no name or anything because he didn't want the reporters to know who it was because they was on the injury report. But we needed that person to come out there and practice and be a practice body. So you see how the game go. They can easily put people on injury reports that are not injured, but so that's what's happening, man. At the end of the day, either Dylan Gabriel doesn't got what it takes, and they are scared to put him out there in that fire, or these trainers simply can't do their job and rehab Dylan Gabriel back to health, because there's no way they're holding him back this long. This just continues to make no sense. And one day, Shedeur Sanders is going to come out and be able to tell everything that happened. I'm sure they're not even communicating with him properly to tell him why or what they're doing to him. Because if they come up to him and say, Shedeur, you have to sit out because you're hurt, your oblique is strained, we don't think it's a good idea. Shedeur Sanders is 100% going to say, I'm ready to go, I'm good to go. There's no reason to hold me out. I can still go. You know, I'm 100%. I feel that he will say that. But again,
why even let him get dressed today?
Why even let him get dressed? And again,
if you know he was going to practice.
Again, let me let y'all know how this goes. When you're injured and you can't participate in drills or team drills in the NFL, you are injured. So you do things separate from the team. You go to the trainers and you exercise. You ride the bike. You may be doing lifting weights, some type of running, anything you can do that doesn't harm the area that is hurt, or you know what I mean? So that's what you do. You don't even dress out in full uniform. That is pointless at that point when you're hurt. You know what I mean? So all these things that happening to Shedeur isn't making sense. And it seemed like something that's being orchestrated. You know, there is a agenda behind all this mess. And they don't want to give Shedeur Sanders the fair chance. And it all may boil back down to Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, because everyone is terrified that they give this young man a chance. He gets there, does his job, makes this team look good, and you know, y'all can't build around him. Then his dad comes around and takes the job. But you know, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to scare people from playing Shedeur Sanders. We need Shedeur Sanders to play.
Facts.
He's like that, man. But if Cam Ward, if Shedeur Sanders end up starting this season somewhere, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders will have the NFL on fire, man. It would just be all about Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, what they did. Even though we don't expect them to win much this season, it would be a lot of excitement to see the journey and watch the progress of these young men. One being the first pick of the NFL draft, and then the other being a fifth rounder. It's just so much to talk about, so much to enjoy. I just, you know, hope everything pans out so we can see what we need to see, man.
Can't wait till week 1, man. Can't wait till week 1.
Thursday night. Eagles versus the Cowboys, man. What the score gonna be? Let's see what your predictions are right now. Right now, Dries. What 32, the score gonna be? Who's winning? First
32-13. Oh man, 32-13.
Cowboys looking crazy, man. Y'all know how it go for these Eagle fans. But let's get into this next topic, man. We got Stefon Diggs, man. Stefon Diggs been around the NFL for a while. He's terrorizing these streets, taking boys' girlfriends, wives, and so on and so forth. He's playing stepdaddy. He's coming to your team, coming to your city, taking your side piece and everything else. So watch out for Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs is on his 4th team of his career. And this probably will be his finest team that he plays for, if you ask me. But we'll have to see. What I want to talk about with Stefon Diggs is I'm waiting to see how this relationship is going to work out with Stefon Diggs and a young Drake May, the quarterback for the New England Patriots that was just drafted from the University of North Carolina last year's draft in the first round. Is Stefon Diggs going to be a good teammate and facilitator for May? Or is he going to revert back to his old ways and cause major distractions while Drake May is still trying to find his way in the NFL and become that quarterback?
Right.
Because it's something about these high-profile receivers and these outbursts. It seems like it's becoming a common thing, right? And these outbursts are unprovoked with these stars like the Antonio Browns, the Tyreek Hills, and Stefon Diggs isn't that bad, It seems like they decide to have an outburst when all the stars in the universe ain't lining up for them for some reason. You know what I mean? Like Tyreek Hill, the game is over and he's just looking bug-eyed. Like the stars ain't lining up. Antonio Brown, he's always looking bug-eyed like the stars ain't lining up, But Stefon is showing his team what to expect already this season. But I don't think his team, coaches, the city of Foxborough understand what is actually happening, from what his teammates are saying or what they have witnessed already. His teammates are using code words like Stefon Diggs is pushing too hard. And this can mean so many different things, right? Especially what we've witnessed with Stefon Diggs turning up during games and, just being a little outcast, I guess.
Right.
And I don't mean turning up as in catching the ball and catching a lot of passes. I mean turning up with the attitude of being an outcast. So let's listen to Stefon Diggs. Let's check him out.
I'm hearing that you push too much.
Yeah,
I've been hearing that you're trying to perform more than be smart about what to do here.
I heard that too, man. We'll
this
see,
is Scoop
man.
City.
Everybody's excited, man. I'm just like taking it day by day.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes,
is that hard
man.
because I feel for you because you obviously are overdoing it at times because you want to be out there and you're such a competitor. It's hard to hold back when I'm sure you're on a timeline, right? Where you got to hit certain marks to make sure you feel good. But overall, you feel like you're moving it.
I feel great. I mean, I'm pushing the needle always. I'm always doing more than less. And, we'll see about week one. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see. Coaches aren't too excited. I'm not too excited. I'm just trying to take it day by day. So we'll see, man. It looks like we just don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, there's a chance, but you just got to get through camp, right? That's the goal as the team right now.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I feel like you're really trying to tell me something, and I'm really bad at reading the signs.
Now you got to be able to read between the lines. It's saying you push too hard. He pushes too hard. Nobody worry about you pushing too hard in the NFL. Yeah, he's recovering from ACL. Ain't nobody worry about you pushing too hard. The problem is, with a lot of us athletes, Stefon Diggs is definitely a very, very confident guy.
You say maybe he said.
Yeah, maybe a little overconfident in my opinion. He's definitely a very confident guy, but in the football world, he may be a little overconfident. This is my opinion. At this point in his career, Stefon has to realize he isn't the guy he used to be, right? Especially coming off of ACL injury. After only 8-9 weeks now, he's coming back fast. Technology is growing like crazy, right? Stefon pushing too hard can also mean he needs to tone it down, thinking he's supposed to be the guy on offense, right? Because he's probably asking for the ball already. And Stefon Diggs is not the guy he used to be. I like Stefon Diggs in the slot where he can run in intermediate routes and use his experience to find, those open areas and work the middle against linebackers and safeties and things like that. Don't put him on outside and expect him to create a lot of separation and catching those 50 and 60-yard bombs and things like that. He doesn't have that explosiveness to create separation like he used to or he once had. But at the end of the day, Stefon Diggs will continue and always be a demanding guy because that's his character. And that's what he's used to at receiver. So when the New England Patriots first signed Stefon Diggs, I didn't initially like the move. But, he has my teammate and Mike Vrabel there as the head coach. I think Mike Vrabel will understand how to tame him and keep everything under control and not have Stefon Diggs' expectations so high, But he's a good athlete. I think he has a lot of experience. He can do a lot of good, but he can't expect the things that he used to expect back in the days when he was in his prime. And that where the problem may come in at, where he started having these outbursts to Drake May, telling him to get him the ball, telling him, expecting Drake May to find him and telling Drake May he is open all the time. Same situations he was dealing with Josh Allen. Feeling like he's the reason Josh Allen was successful, and Josh Allen needed Stefon Diggs when we all know that isn't true. You understand what you was gonna say?
No, but that's what I was gonna say about Josh Allen. A lot of people say the reason why Josh Allen had so many turnovers during that time is because he was forcing the ball to him because he demanded the ball. So you feel like that's gonna affect you think it's gonna affect them over here at the Patriots? Like demanding the ball, creating more turnovers, and he a young quarterback.
Yeah, I think it will put a lot of pressure on Drake, man. He won't know how to handle that, being that he's only in his second season. So, but at the same time, I think that's what Mike Vrabel, the head coach, will step in at. Like, Mike Vrabel is a superb leader. If y'all ain't heard and seen, he was jumping in fights and breaking up fights. Like, he's one of the guys. Like, he's literally one of the guys, I think that would be the difference. But that's who Stefon Diggs has always been. And think about it, right? If you're a quarterback and you have a team and you have this one guy who's always aggressive and, outcast and loud and things like that, and he's demanding the football, and he's good, at the same time. He's in his prime. And he continue to demand the ball. I need this, I need that. Or I have $2 million in incentives. I need a certain amount of yards. Get me the ball. That will automatically be a lot of pressure applied to yourself because, just how the mind works and, psychology. So we saw that in live action with Stefon Diggs harassing or causing outbursts on the sideline about Josh Allen. Then when he leaves the Buffalo Bills, he tries to tend to act like Josh Allen can't be successful without him. And we all know that's
he won MVP.
That's backwards.
He won an MVP with less talented receivers.
With less, But what do y'all think, man? Is Shedeur Sanders, they're going to hold him out, and Dillon Gabriel's not going to play? Is it going to end up happening? Are they going to have to sign another quarterback? This is just some straight up trash, man.
Dillon Gabriel starting on Saturday.
Y'all let me know real quick in the chat, man. What else y'all want to talk about tomorrow? Y'all bring it. It could be odd topics. It could be football topics. Y'all let me know. I know a lot of people wanted to talk about the contract breakdown of Shedeur Sanders and how he made all that money from $250 million worth of jersey sales, but things like that. But y'all let me know other topics y'all want to talk about after the game. We got Cam Ward against the Atlanta Falcons tomorrow. Who do I expect to see for the Atlanta Falcons tomorrow? Michael Penix. Got to see Michael Penix do something, man. So, yeah, man.
How many jerseys you think Dillon Gabriel sold?
I was trying not to laugh, but I know you was being funny, so I couldn't hold it back, man. I ain't gonna lie now. Don't act like he don't have a following at all. I don't know the amount of the quantity in numbers. I'm gonna do the comparison in dollar amount the same way Shedeur Sanders. If Shedeur Sanders sold $250 million in revenue worth of jersey sales, I'm gonna go ahead and say Dillon Gabriel
100,000.
100,000. You took the words out of my mouth. 100,000. He got a $10,000 royalty check from the NFL, and life is good. Y'all go ball out for that 10,000. But how we doing in the chat, man? Say Shedeur got to play, man. I know, man. They really holding the boy back, man. Shout out to all my day ones. Melrose, where y'all at? Marlon, El Dorado, Bruce Lee. Shout out to all my day ones, man. Hey, man, we still here. We taking over. But like I said, man, all these non-athletic, non-sport people that's entering into our sports world and trying to bring us down, man. Now that I have a microphone in front of me and I see what this is all about, that's all these people doing, man. They infiltrate our game, man, and this is a way that they can hate us and hate on us, So this is why you come to say what needs to be said. And it's Thursday Night Vibes.
Make sure y'all subscribing.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget to tell y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Tonight, I need to tell y'all, I need y'all to smash that like button. Smash it on up. Set it up for your boy. And make sure y'all know tomorrow night we're going to be back on. We're doing a live reaction after the game to see what Cam Ward did. like I said, I expect him to win the Super Bowl next 3 or 4 seasons. Y'all write it down, y'all jot it down, and y'all let y'all know I said it here first. And I expect Cam Ward to play a little bit more tomorrow. So we will see. So Thursday Night Vibes. Hope y'all had a good time tonight. I'm always having a good time. See y'all next time, man. And we are